concert. April across the United States is Jazz Appreciation Month. It's also called JAM. And we are celebrating jazz music because it is the only style of music indigenous to the United States, meaning it's the only form of music that started here, that was born here. A lot of our other classical styles of music came from Europe, but jazz music came from here. And a lot of the music that we listen to on the radio today, pop, R&B, gospel, hip hop, it has its roots in jazz music. So we've been working on jazz as a 7th grade band, and we're gonna start off tonight by playing for you some exercises out of our book, which kind of got us started in some of the techniques. This first song is called Hard Rock Blues. You may recognize it because they played it last year at their very first concert. So it was their introduction to jazz music, they just didn't know it yet. One of the things in jazz music to listen for is a lowered third, and that makes it sound like the blues. And you're going to hear that. Could you guys play the very first note of Hard Rock Blues for me? Play the first note and hold it. Next note. Next note. Second note. Third note. Third note. That third note is a lowered third, and that happens in blues music. So instead of having a major scale, do, re, mi, it goes do, re, mi, and the third note is lowered. So that's something we've been practicing. We'll play 2 songs for you out of our book, Hard Rock Blues and Basic Blues, which demonstrate that lowered third note. One of the exciting things about jazz music is it allows us to express ourselves on our instruments in ways that's not written in classical music. In this piece of music, the composer asks the trombone players to do something called a glissando, and it's kind of experimenting with their sound. Could you guys play that for us? This is the trombone glissando. Ready, go. And that happens in the ragtime music, so that was something new that came out of that time period. Here is trombone rag. piece of music is called Bottom Bass Boogie, and it gave us the opportunity to experience what is called a walking bass line. In jazz music, there's a rhythm section that's constantly driving, as some people say, the train of the jazz music, and we all learned the walking bass line part. This is a duet, so we all had the opportunity, instead of playing it on a bass guitar, let's play for them part B, the walking bass line. Here you go. 1, 2, ready, play. We'll eventually see you'll have a drum set and a bass guitar. The rhythm section is doing all the work. They are just listening to the notes, and they're listening to that section. They don't need me, which is kind of nice, but also kind of sad. This is the melody of that duet, and so we're going to combine them in just a moment. But why don't you guys play them part A of the duet so they can hear the melody. 1, 2, ready, play. Appreciation Month concert without some New Orleans jazz in there. And this is one of the most famous and the first piece of music that became mainstream from New Orleans. It's when the Saints go marching in, and it uses some of those concepts we talked about, but in a more traditional manner, kind of like a march. And it uses those thirds, and you're going to have the rhythm section sound going as well. So this is sort of the birthplace. We call the birthplace the blues, that kind of came from African American spirituals and gospel music and work songs, and we also combine it with this ragtime style when the Saints go marching in. word boogie appears in our concert program a lot tonight. An early jazz style called boogie woogie is where that comes from. We're going to play this piece, Band Room Boogie, and it also, you're going to hear all the same concepts, the walking bass line, the melody parts with the lowered notes. And I just want to draw your attention to, we are now going to play with a rhythm section. A full rhythm section includes a drum set, someone playing piano, someone playing bass guitar, and someone playing electric guitar. We have bits and pieces of it, and we've been adding these. This is Jordan. She plays upright bass in orchestra, so she's just playing the electric version of her instrument. And this is Anaya back here. She plays the flute, and she just decided that she wanted to learn some drum sets. So we've been working on getting some people to double on instruments, and that's an opportunity available to any of the students that want to work with me before or after school. And you're going to see a little bit more of that tonight as we go. So here is Band Room Boogie, where we're playing with a rhythm section. So our next piece is taking us into the swing era. This is the 1940s. And swing music is probably the most difficult style to learn because you can read your music and the rhythm looks exactly like the stuff you've been playing in your book all along, but you have to play it with a different feel. So instead of going 1, 2, and 3, 4, and we're asked to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Your music looks exactly the same as it has all along, but you have to kind of train your brain, retrain it to swing the rhythms. We again have someone playing drum set. We have Zach. He's playing saxophone tonight and drum set. And he is going to be our driver. You're going to see tonight I'm barely going to conduct this song because it all depends on our rhythm section. We have lots of people back there that are going to be keeping the beat. They have it internalized. So here's us playing swing music with band class swing. music has kind of a goofy name. It's called Jumpin' Jelly Beans, and that tradition of giving jazz tunes kind of goofy names came from the artist Duke Ellington, who's a famous piano player, and he kind of started that tradition of giving his pieces goofy names to get people's attention. And this composer, Dean Sorensen, is a guy who's from Minnesota, and he has made a life's work of writing jazz music for young people, making it accessible for students that don't have a lot of years under their belt. Jumpin' Jelly Beans is kind of a rock style. It gives us all those things that we've been working on, the walking bass lines, the rhythms, the swing. You're going to hear a little bit of that influence, and it puts into a rock style, which you're going to hear. It's going to kind of sound like something you hear on the radio, more of a pop tune. We have Brian playing drum set. I'm so glad I got his name right. Brian is playing drum set with his name. He also plays in the trumpet section.
Thank you.